Hi everyone, this is Jamie from Treasured Memories. I'm going to do a brief walkthrough on how to start a new campaign on Treasured Memories community funding. You'll start by going to tmcfunding.com. When you do, this is the homepage that you see here. You have three options: Start a Fund, the logo, which is the home link, and Search Fund. If you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see an additional menu here, Sign In and Register. What you want to do is register. Go ahead and click on that. Once on this screen, typical information to register. I'm going to put demo user, and I'm going to actually copy and paste some of this information so that I don't have to type everything out. Accept the terms and conditions, and of course select I'm not a robot. Click the sign up button. Now, one thing I should point out, a lot of funeral homes do use one login for everybody at a particular location. That way, if a director sets up a campaign and they are not there on a particular day and the family needs something changed, somebody in the funeral home can still handle it. Of course, everybody can have their own login. Either way is fine. Once you have your account created, then you can go ahead and sign in. We are using demo user. Go ahead and log in. When you log in, you'll be redirected to the My Campaigns page. You'll notice that the menu, the sign in and register menu, is also changed. You'll always be able to get to the My Campaigns page by going to this link. Fundraisers, they will appear on this page, and it'll be an easy way for you to get to them if you need to make a change rather than trying to search for them. So once you are logged in, we can go ahead and click on Start Fund. As you can see, there are going to be 4 steps. The first step is the fundraiser information. Like I said, I have some information here already pre-filled out so that I can just copy and paste everything. For our demo, our deceased is going to be John Doe. The category, the next field here, which is a drop-down, you have 3 options: Help a Family in Need, which is helping a family that may need some financial help paying for a funeral. Memorial donations. In lieu of flowers, the family requests that donations be made to a specific charity that you can set up through here as well. And then we also have community events. This is something that maybe there isn't a deceased, maybe there's just a local church or a local charity that is having some kind of a fundraiser that you want to be able to help out with. You can do that all through here. For the sake of this walkthrough, I'm going to go back to Help a Family in Need. And I should also point out, you'll notice when you select the memorial donations that the goal amount goes away because there is no limit to how many donations for memorial donations there would be. But going back to Help a Family in Need, we have a goal amount of, I'm going to put $10,000. The summary, this is, you only have 250 characters, and this is usually what's going to show up when you share a particular campaign to a social media. So Facebook, when you share it, it will have a picture of the whatever picture you put for the campaign, and then there will be a snippet of text, and this is the text that's going to show up there. Let's go ahead and grab my text here. just expand this so you can see what I'm putting as I go. This next section, tell your story. This is where you can get as in-depth as you would like to. There is no limit. And you can also embed videos here. Many people use Tukios. You can embed a Tukios video into here. Go ahead and grab, I do have a paragraph ready here just to put something in. Okay, moving on to the next option, which is the end date. It automatically goes for 30 days if you don't touch it, or you can come over here to the calendar and then you can pick what end date you would like. I'm going to leave it at 30 days for now. Next option is publish. This is mostly for if you want to prepare things before you meet with a family, you haven't actually gotten their approval to publish this. You can go ahead and you can get the campaign started, and then you would just check no, and then it wouldn't be live on the site. Allow contributions to exceed the goal amount. Exactly what it sounds like. If for some reason the goal amount is hit and you want to stop there, you don't want any additional money, that is where you would select no. Let others see contributions received for this fundraiser. This is specifically for the public side of the website, where on each campaign you can see a list of the donors that will not be displayed if you select no. Go ahead and move to the next screen. You can see we're now on step 2, the beneficiary. The beneficiary is, in this case, when it's help a family in need, is typically going to be whoever's responsible for paying the funeral bill. For the sake of this, we're going to use Jane Doe since John Doe is our deceased. And we'll put in an address. City. State, zip code, phone number, and an email address. Reuse this. All right, once you have that all filled in, you can move to the next step, which is the funeral home information. If you are working with Help a Family in Need or memorial contributions, you most likely have a deceased, and this is where you'll put the name. And then we also have an obituary link. If you do have an obituary, you definitely want to put the link in here. There's a good reason for that, which I will point out towards the end of this video. The next option here is the Treasured Memories Funeral Home. If you are a Treasured Memories member, your funeral home will appear in this dropdown. For now, I'm going to go ahead and select an Altmeyer location. And you'll notice when I selected the Altmeyer location that this Associate ID box popped up. This is completely optional, and this is only if you want to track your campaigns and how much money you've raised. If you do want to get an associate ID, all you have to do is click on this link. When you click on it, it's going to open up another tab where you fill out all of your information. Once you hit submit, the associate ID is going to pop up right here on the screen as well as be emailed to you. And you can copy that associate ID and close that tab and come right back here and put it in. I do actually have an ID ready. I'll put one in just so that you can see what happens when you do. I've put the ID in. Watch when I tab out of that box. You'll notice that the username or the associate's name and email address automatically fills out from what you put in the form to get the associate ID. If If you are not a Treasured Memories funeral home and you're not in the drop down, then here's where you would want to fill in your funeral home name, city, and state, just so that we know who the funeral home is that we should be working with. Moving to the next page. This is the image that you want to use for the campaign. Oftentimes it's the image of the deceased, same one that's being used for the obituary. I will go ahead and select an image. Okay, and I just have an image with flowers to use for now. And then there's also a photo gallery built in. If you want to, you can add up to, I believe it's 10 images. And you can do the same thing, choose file, find the file on your computer. If you want to add more, you click the green plus sign here. You can also hit the minus sign to take them away. I'm not going to put in any images for the gallery for this particular demo. Once you've gotten to this point, you can go ahead and save the fundraiser. Now, once it's saved, it's going to take us to the My Campaigns page. And from here, you can go check it out. This will take you directly to the fundraiser and where you can see it as the public sees it, or you can click the edit. This is where, like, if you didn't publish it and you want to go back and you want to publish it because the family's given you the okay, you click edit, and it'll just take you right back to the screen that you were just on. So I'm going to open, I just right-clicked on the title here and opened it in a new tab so that we can actually go in and see the campaign that we just created. Here's that snippet that ends up on social media. Here's the default image that I used. Like I said, in this case, it will probably be a picture of the deceased. And then here was the longer story that I put in. Now, a couple of things that happen automatically. When you select your funeral home from the Treasured Memory dropdown, it's going to appear down here that the campaign was created in partnership. And also, you put the obituary link, if there was one, and that will actually, when you click on View Obituary, it's going to take you to your website to be able to view an obituary. Close that. So you absolutely want to make sure, if you have one, to put the View Obituary link in so that we are directing people back to your website. I should point out I'm logged in right now, which is why this edit button is showing up. And go ahead. Okay, there is one other thing that I would like to point out. If you go to the footer, and this is on every page, there are a couple of links that are really helpful. First is the frequent questions. That's always a good thing to take a look through. And second is the documents. I'm going to go ahead and click on this and explain a couple things to you. We have a disclosure form, disbursement form, and creating a successful campaign PDF. Creating a successful campaign is basically just some tips that we have put together through our experience creating this funding site to help you make your campaign as successful as possible. The other documents here, the disclosure form and the disbursement form, if it is help a family in need, these are necessary. If a family is having trouble paying for a funeral, the disclosure form is what you would have them sign at the beginning of the campaign. It serves a few different purposes to make sure that everybody's on the same page, really. It does make sure that the family knows that there is no guarantee that this campaign will raise the amount of money that they need to cover the cost of funerals. It does also let the family know that they are still responsible for paying for whatever the remaining cost of the funeral is if the campaign is not successful. The disbursement form, that is going to be emailed to the funeral home associate at the end of the campaign, and you can also get it here, of course, but that is going to have to be sent back to us when the campaign's over in order for us to cut a check. When you fill it out, the disbursement form, go ahead and click on it here so you can see. It is a fillable PDF, of course. Typical information, how much the fundraiser raised, how much is left on the funeral balance, which would leave us with how much goes to the funeral home and how much goes to the beneficiary. If the campaign raises more money than is left on the funeral home bill, then the beneficiary gets the remaining amount. Okay, go ahead and close that. That is it.